Spring break. That is exactly what we have going on here at LakePoint Sports. I'm Cory McCartney, and this is the Prep Baseball Spring Break Experience. We have teams from all over the country coming in over the past these next few weeks. Today we'll be featuring a game between Mars Hill Bible School, which is in Alabama, taking on the Lexington Minutemen from Illinois. So excited about this one. We're eyeing about a 12:15 first pitch in this one. I'll be joined along the way by Jack McCartney and producer Maddie Bullock in the back as well. Now also in action this week, we've seen some other teams from Alabama, including Deschler High School, and they brought Samford signee Garrett Reed with him, a guy who is three-sport first-teamer in the state of Alabama, so a guy truly a man for all seasons on the way to Samford. I had a chance to catch up with Garrett Reed, and this guy can pretty much do it all except give nutritional advice. In studio with Garrett Reed, Samford signee out of Deschler, Alabama's 9th-ranked right-hander in the class. Garrett, man, appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let's talk about this. 4A Player of the Year in baseball, All-State first team in football, first team in basketball. You're the Tigers' all-time leader in threes as well as charge taken on defense. Literally a man for all seasons. Playing it all at an excruciatingly high level. Take me inside the discipline that comes with playing three sports and doing so at such a high level.
You know, it's a lot. Your body gets worn out, but, you know, you just got to stay disciplined and, you know, you got to get a lot of rest. That's the main thing to me. And just, you know, high school, people want to go out and do all that, and sometimes you just got to sit back, rest, and, you know, you got to keep your eyes on what you want and what your goal is.
I saw the picture of you with your basketball uniform on with the glove. I've seen sleeveless uniforms. Should we play baseball in a basketball jersey?
I don't know. That's a hard question. Maybe it's a
be freeing, right?
Yes, sir.
Be a little freeing. All right. In all seriousness, obviously, when you're playing those sports, it's such a high level now. You're going to have the realization next year that it's just baseball. Have you thought about what that's going to be like when this starts to roll around to the fall or starts to roll around to the winter and you don't have football and you don't have basketball?
It'll definitely be different, but, you know, I'm just excited to see my growth from, you know, just focusing on baseball instead of three sports, so I'm excited for that part of it.
What was the decision then at the collegiate level? Because I'm sure you had opportunities, other sports, maybe some schools were talking about, hey, do you want to play multiple sports? What was that decision-making process like?
Well, I've always been around basketball. You know, my dad's been a head basketball coach, and I just started playing football my 9th grade year, so I was just like, I don't know. I don't really know about football. I banged up and all that, and then I think I'm a little too short for basketball for the collegiate side of it, but baseball, I love baseball and just being around it.
Let's talk about the arsenal a little bit here. Prep Baseball Profile has you with a fastball into the high 80s. You got the changeup, curveball, slider, nearly 2,500 spin on that pitch. What's the best pitch, and which one are you most focused on kind of shoring up a little bit this spring before you get to Samford?
Probably my changeup. You know, the fastball and slider are good, but if you can have a really good changeup, you can get a lot of hitters to roll over that and just, off timing. So, get the changeup going.
How do you do that? Is it more about the location on it? Is it trying to kill the spin? What's the process?
To me, I struggle with, you know, trying to slow down my arm or something with the changeup. Just, you know, just finishing through that and just don't slow up your arm to me. That's just what my problem is right now, my changeup.
How would you describe your mentality as a pitcher? Are you a guy that is in attack mode, or are you a guy that kind of nibbles in the sides? What do you try to do?
Oh, no, I'm full attack. Attack. Yeah, I'm just going to put in the zone. You can hit it and make plays, or you're going to swing and miss.
I absolutely love that. We know Garrett Reed can handle himself on the diamond and the gridiron on the hardwood, but I want to know if you can handle random questions. Number 27. Would you rather play one game wearing clown shoes or oven mitts?
That's a tough one. I probably have to go oven mitts. I don't think I can move around in clown shoes very good. I don't think that would work out.
But you would be able to pitch with oven mitts on. If you were in the field, you might be all right.
Yeah, I think they just put me in the field that game.
Okay, that's probably the good play. All right, number 64. If your diet had a theme song, what would it be?
God, my diet right now is not good. Last night I had Zaxby's, and I had a loaded fry, a big Zax snack, a milkshake, and then a little cheese bite. So I don't even know.
So back in the day, the Michael Jackson song "Beat It" was real big, right? So they had like Weird Al Yankovic would make like versions of them, and he had a song called "Eat It."
That would be me. Yeah, that would be me.
All right, that's good. All right, number 91, last one. Have you ever been ejected from a game, or was there ever a point where you thought if something just goes a little bit too far, I'm going to get ejected?
I've never been ejected, but basketball I have had a tech. Baseball, I don't think so. Coach Cantrell, whoa. I'll take that back. Sophomore year, we're in corner, and I'm not going to blame it all on the umpires, but there were some controversial calls, and it was heated, and Coach Cantrell got thrown out. I didn't.
Okay.
So
he took the heat for you.
He took the heat.
What led to the technical?
All right, so we were playing on rival school, and I turned around. I guess ref thought I was talking to him, but I turned to my teammate and was just like, "Isn't it supposed to be our ball?" And he just gave me a tech, and I was just like, "Okay."
Just let it go?
Yeah, yes, sir. So all I thought about was how to run a suicide next practice. I was not happy about that one.
All right, he is Garrett Reed. Thank you so much
Yes,
for your
sir.
time, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yes, sir.
Great stuff there from Garrett Reed. Appreciated him stopping by while Deschler was here on campus for the spring break experience. Getting a little bit closer to first pitch between Mars Hill and Lexington. We're going to take a break here in studio. When we come back, we'll give you our Windscreen Factory starting lineups.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, now joined by Jack McCartney as we bring you our coverage of Mars Hill Panthers against the Lexington Minutemen in the Prep Baseball Spring Break Experience. Jack, excited for this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Windscreen Factory starting lineups. The Lexington Minutemen will be led off by Blaine Friedmansky. Then it's Caden Knight, Braden Barber, Drake Powell, Cooper Miller, Miles Lahnert, Jack Miller, Micah Wiltz, and Bo Stutzman. Did not get positions on the Lexington Minutemen, but we will obviously watch that unfold here shortly once we get to first pitch. Meanwhile, the Mars Hill Panthers led off by third baseman Noah Hamback. Then it's right fielder Bo Willis, then second baseman Malin Moore, first baseman Cody Willis, Brooks Campbell, the DH, Christian O'Rear, the left fielder, then Luke Fowler, the center fielder, Carson Wynn will be on the mound. Hitting 8th, hitting 9th is Cole Aggie, the shortstop. Hitting 10th is Carter Ham, the catcher. And we'll leave you with our Windscreen Factory starting lineups as we get towards first pitch in this one. Welcome in. Our action is underway, and scoreboard is not. Don't get too excited here. That was the previous game. So Lexington played Van Buren, lost 18-0 in that one. So trying to what we've seen the last couple of weeks in our travel games and these tournaments is we've seen teams bounce back from rough games early and put up really strong performances when we get them on the broadcast. So maybe that's what Lexington has in store, but they have their hands full here against this really good Mars Hill squad. Right now at the plate is Blaine Friedmansky for Lexington. And our pitcher for the Mars Hill Minutemen is Carson Wynn. Well, intel on Wynn, 5'11", 210-pound righty, second prep baseball vet for him. We've got it with a fastball around 70 miles an hour. Looks like that's exactly where he's sitting right now. Still waiting on our scoreboard. We're going to suit out the flares here to prep baseball and get that scoreboard operational, because that game did end after just 3 innings between Lexington and Van Buren, so just waiting on a refresh here. Swing, a miss, and Friedmansky goes down on strikes. 70.7 was the readout there from Carson Wynn. That'll bring up Caden Knight. This Mars Hill team out in the field right now, Jack, coached by Josh Willingham, actually a product of Mars Hill. He was a Marlins draft pick, of course, won the Silver Slugger with the Twins in 2012. Hit 35 homers, 110 RBI that year.
Wow, that's Silver Slugger material.
That it really, truly is. Team that advanced to the 2A semifinals last year. The state of Alabama lost to eventual champion Vincent. By the way, that's kind of the commonality between these two teams, because Lexington last year, they went 19-13, but they made it to the 1A state semifinals, losing to the eventual champion Marquette in Illinois. So two teams whose seasons last year ended on deep postseason runs at the hands of those states' eventual champions. And Caden Knight at the plate right now. Still waiting on our scoreboard to update. That one is driven well into the left side there. Going to have extra bases on the move. And yep, Caden Knight's got himself a one-out double. Let's see the double celly. There it is. Caden Knight, something to celebrate here. And again, we talked about this. How was Lexington going to respond? They lost a really tough game against Van Buren. Van Buren may be the most impressive team that we saw here during this week, but Lexington coming out swinging.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfectly placed hit in the left field line. Absolutely, I mean, he pieced that one. I mean, they definitely got to come out and, as I said last week, you got to have that goldfish mentality.
That's right.
You have to forget what happened before.
I tend to have that, like the fish that cleans the side of the tank, like the sucker fish. I kind of have that more mentality more myself. Braden Barber now at the plate, maybe the most explosive bat in this Lexington lineup. Southwest Illinois signee, 2026, 7th prep baseball event for him. Watches a strike out of the hands of Wynn, and look at that scoreboard operational now. As we sit here on the top of the first with one down. Again, you got Caden Knight at second, Braden Barber at the plate.
You get to watch Avery walk up the stairs real quick.
There you go. The formidable Avery Hunt making his way up to his perch in the scout tower. Nice breaking ball there. Stops it from going any further. Counts now 1-1 here to Barber. Barber, catcher and right-handed pitcher. And we didn't get the positions for Lexington, so we'll see if Barber is behind the plate. Shows bunt. Knight taking off for third. To throw down, it will be late. So Caden Knight advances. Barber shows bunt. Nice play there, though, because even if he doesn't bunt, are we telling him to go back? I think Barber seems a little confused here, but really smart play, because even if you don't get him to bunt, instinctively the corner infielders are going to move in once they see bunt, and that draws the guy away from third base and allows the runner to potentially get a good jump if they do crash. And if he does get the bunt down, then everything's in motion. But all right, we're going to have Knight's going back to second. I think Barber's looking for some clarification. So we thought we had a runner 90 feet from the game's first run. I think we're getting some explanation here for the Lexington side. This is when we need like a rules expert, like they cut to like Gene Sanator and the CBS booth, or they'll bring in, Mike Ferreira and the Fox booth. So we should have like Wilson Marler should be like on speed dial for us. And whenever we have a question, we awake Wilson from his slumber, because I think that's what he does when he's not here, is just sleep, because he's here so much. But we would bring Wilson in, and then he would break down what was going on in the field, because we obviously are much like the catcher, just standing there waiting to hear what's supposed to be happening next. But we will have Knight at second, and this AB will continue with Barber. Counts 2-1. Not quite sure what would have transpired that would have allowed a guy to show bunt and the runner not take off. But regardless, this will continue. First base coach makes his way back over for Lexington. Caden Knight returns to second. I think we may have gotten an interference call on Braden Barber, because he's out and Drake Powell's now up, and there's now 2 down. So I believe that's exactly what happened, is we got an interference call there on Barber. First pitch swinging. Powell pops that up. Right fielder and second baseman on the run. Second baseman calls him off, makes the inning-ending catch. Lexington strands a runner at second. We're through half an inning. You're watching the Spring Break Experience.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. Noah Hamback, Bo Willis, and Malin Moore will lead things off here in the bottom of the first for Mars Hill. Looks like our pitcher for Lexington is going to be Braden Barber. And Braden Barber probably got a little something to say after that first half an inning. We did get we broke it down, and we can explain to you now why Braden Barber was, in fact, out on that bunt attempt there with one out and Caden Knight at second. So here it is. It pulls back on the bunt and stepped out and was called for interference on this play. So obviously the argument there for Lexington is that all he's doing is stepping away from the bunt and not turning himself towards the catcher, but obviously called for interference here and something that worked out in Mars Hill's favor as Lexington strands a runner at second instead of having a guy 90 feet from third. Change the complexity of that inning without question for Lexington. We'll see how they respond, but obviously if you're Braden Barber, you're a little bit more amped up now going into this bottom half of the inning with you on the mound.
And I know we're only one batter in, but he's doing a great job of selecting his pitches right there. I mean, as he strikes them out right here.
Yeah, dot in the eye there. Noah Hamback goes down on strikes. 87.1 out of the hands of Barber. We've got Barber with a fastball around 84 on the Prep Baseball profile, so already ticking up 87.1 for the Southwest Illinois signee. Stands 6'2", 195 pounds. Now he's got Bo Willis. One of two Willises on this team. Bo, a 2026, 10th Prep Baseball event for him. Double Tuesday against Van Buren. I mentioned how tough that Van Buren squad is. Had their big gun, Weston Wilcox, 13 strikeouts on Tuesday. Jones County.
On Tuesday, Van Buren played 2 games. The first one against Deschler, and then the second one against Mars Hill. In the first game, Weston had 13 strikeouts. In the second game, he had a bomb. That's
Ohtani-esque.
That's Ohtani-esque right there.
Ohtani-esque from Weston Wilcox, Jones County Community College signee. So you were talking to his parents a little bit, trying to you're at Georgia Highlands, you're tight with Dash O'Neill. You're trying to see if maybe you could pull him off to the light side, pull him off get him away and get him with the good guys over here in Georgia Highlands.
Yeah, I was hoping to, but the difference is 3 hours or 10 hours.
Yeah, well, it is true coming from Arkansas. Counts now 3-1 here to Bo Willis. Misses high, and he draws a one-out walk from Barber, and that'll now bring up Malin Moore. Malin Moore, third Prep Baseball event for this 2028. Malin playing second base today, and also an outfielder. 5'9", 155 pounds. That last pitch was 83.4 from Barber. So sitting right around where we've got him at, but we've seen him tick up a little bit here early on. Miss high, counts 1-0 to Moore. Yeah, but at least we did our due diligence. We did not have our rules expert, so we had to kind of become our own version of Gene Santor and do it ourselves, and we got a runner thrown out at second. Man, big moment there for Lexington. Nice throw down from the catcher. So it throws out Bo Willis after that 1-out walk, and now 2 down and a 2-0 count here to Moore. But yeah, we got we're our own built-in rules experts is what I'm trying to get to. Mike Ferreira is right here in the booth with you. 2-0 count. Miss high makes it 3-0. Ooh, did that? I think our camera just decided not to switch back over. Let's see. There we go. The magic of AI. Right down Main Street for strike one, 84.8. See the Illinois fans there basking in the sun here at LakePoint. Nice, beautiful day here, and there's another walk. Back-to-back walks from Barber. Last time he got cleaned up by his defense, throwing a runner out at second. Do they get a little bit aggressive here? Does Josh Willingham's crew send the runner and tempt fate a little bit after already having one thrown out from behind the plate? That's like they were playing patty cake. Had to get it started. This is Cody Willis. Cody Willis, 8th-ranked first baseman in Alabama, 80th overall. Cody is supposed to do an interview post-game with our Will Hogendijk, which you'll be able to find on all of our social media channels. He doubled Tuesday and Wednesday versus Van Buren, including a 2-run double Wednesday, part of a 2-for-3, 3 RBI day for this 2028. He's got a 0-1 count, calls for time. Exit velo's around 95.4, guy with a bat speed north of 82 miles an hour. Sends that Barber offering foul. Count's going to be 0-2 now. Seeing his catcher going out and doing the dirty work, picking up the loose ball. All right, now an 0-2 here to Willis. Goes up high, chasing it. Barber gets the inning-ending strikeout. Both teams strand one. We're through one. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
We'll get our first look at Cooper Miller, Miles Landhart, and Jack Miller for the Lexington Minutemen as we move along to the second inning. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. You're watching the spring break experience. I think Tanner Schreiber, the coach from Lexington, maybe getting a bit of further explanation on that call that saw Braden Barber called out in the top of the first inning. If you missed it, we can go ahead and we'll show the still there again from our first inning that resulted in Barber getting called out. So you had a runner at second, and Caden Knight takes off for third. Braden Barber shows bunt, pulls back, and he was called for stepping into the path of the catcher, which resulted in an out. Obviously, Lexington took a little exception to that. I think their their stance was that Barber was just stepping away from showing bunt, but regardless, he was out, and here comes the first pitch this inning, driven 90.2 miles an hour. Hard hit ball to the first baseman, caught for an out. To this point, a key moment in the game. It would have been the furthest we've had anybody along the base pass. Knight would have been at third base with one down. But nonetheless, resulted in the second out, and we've had each team strand a runner as we move to the second inning. Carson Wynn back on the mound for Mars Hill. Lexington with our lone hit thus far as we sit here on the top of the second. Cooper Miller at the plate right now. It's the first prep baseball event for him. A number of these Lexington players playing here at LakePoint Sports for the first time. So hope they've enjoyed their spring break trip down to the state of Georgia from Illinois. Yeah, not only have we talked about from the get-go there, this Lexington team trying to rebound from a tough loss. They lost 18-0 earlier today to Van Buren. Brody Elmore with the lone hit for the Minutemen in that game. They also lost 14-4 to Deschler yesterday. So this is a team that's been outscored 32-4 in their first two games of the spring break experience. I think them kind of setting the tone early is crucial. And there's Will Hogendijk making an appearance, walking across the background there, taking in this game, doing some scouting for us. Got the collar open, got the sleeves up, taking life in on a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Emerson. But how is Lexington going to respond? I think if you're Coach Tanner Schreiber at this point, you got to be extremely happy as we see a one-out walk there from Miles Lannert. Lannert again, another player in his first prep baseball event. That's going to bring up the catcher, Jack Miller. Miller throwing a runner out in the bottom half of the first. This is Jack's fourth prep baseball event. 5'9", 170-pound backstop. Also gets on the mound when it's at about 80 miles an hour. When the 210-pound righty settles in, dribbler goes foul. Mars Hill had a JV game before this. They had Ryder Willingham, Josh's son, pitched in that one. Told me he looked pretty good. Has a nice fastball, curveball that he works around 70 miles an hour. Didn't really too much traffic on the base pass in that one, so Dad seemed pretty happy with his son's performance in that JV game, and then he's got to turn his attention back over here to his varsity squad. Wynn taking offense from having a runner at first. Now it's going to get away from his catcher. You know runner's taking off for second. He, in fact, does. He's going to hold there. Miles Leinert's going to hold at second. So now another runner in scoring position. Second time Lexington's been in this spot today. This time they've got one down.
I mean, you question how Lexington was going to, how they were going to start scoring here.
Well, just how they would respond. Like, how do you emotionally respond? You come down here, you make that long trip from Illinois, you get excited about stepping on these fields, playing some teams from different states, and you give up 32 runs through two games. Could be demoralizing, but I think we're seeing right now a team that wants to get out of here feeling good about themselves, and so far so good, because for the second time today they've got a runner in scoring position. We'll see if they can capitalize this time. Miller's got a 1-2 count. Misses inside. Wynn does. Runs it even. Wynn glances back at his base runner. Here comes the 2-2. Another missed catcher stops this one. Runner retreating. You know he had ideas. If he's going to let it slip again, I'm taking off. Miles Lannert will stay at second. Counts now full here to Miller. Today, opening day for Major League Baseball. So big day here at LakePoint Sports, big day across all of Major League. But technically, last night was opening night, but today is opening day across the entire league.
Yeah, there were some mixed emotions about that game last night. From Netflix doing their first game, it was it was something.
Yeah, I heard some people upset with kind of just a look at the broadcast, but I think it happens whenever you have somebody new step into the fray there and start broadcasting MLB games. We kind of had it with when Apple came in and they were, showing probability at the bottom of the screen, kind of using that Apple-esque looks for their score bugs and on-screen graphics. I'm a big fan. I actually thought they did a really good job. I'm friends with a number of the people involved in those broadcasts, including Melanie Newman, Orioles broadcaster who does play-by-play for some of those games. So from my end, I really enjoyed Apple stepping into the mix there, but we'll see. Netflix, they figured it out pretty quickly in terms of the NFL stuff. So something tells me that they will end up putting the pieces together and end up having a pretty good baseball product as well. Because if there's one thing we know they do, they adjust on the fly to what people want and what people want to see. They do it, within their own content. We know that they'll probably do the same thing with baseball. Got a courtesy runner here stepping in for the catcher Miller. So now runners at first and second when going out and getting the word from pitching coach. Well, this is going to be a full-on community effort here trying to get wind to settle back down. All right, the meeting by committee is now over with, and this will continue. Now it'll be Micah Wiltz, 6 foot, 190-pound lefty, fourth prep baseball event for this 2027. Mike is playing first base today for the Minutemen. Runners at first and second, one down. Bat wiggle in there from Wiltz. Holds off on that. 73.5 for ball one. Pirates Mets, I think definitely a game to watch today. Paul Skeens against Freddie Peralta. One of the best pitching matchups you can ask for on an opening day.
I mean, you even got Jacob Mizraski starting for the Brewers.
You got Pavetta against Tyler Skubal going for his third straight Cy Young in the AL. Maybe the last, depending on where he's at next year.
I don't think the Braves played till tomorrow.
Correct. Zach Gallen against Yamamoto, and
that should be good.
Sanchez and Eovaldi, some really good pitching matchups.
Garrett.
And I remember talking to guys like Julio Teheran and Mike Soroka, when you would get that opening day nod, it's just, and look, you could be a Greg Maddux and have 10 opening day starts across your career, but I think it's always to get that nod as the first guy always matters. That one's driven into the left field corner. Is that going to go foul? It in fact does, yep. So he will have to retreat. So Wiltz will continue this. AB counts 2-2. But getting that first start matters. It's just, it's something to be able to call yourself the man, in terms of your team and being that first guy to roll out. I'm sure some frustrations from Spencer Strider that he didn't get to at least have a say in that. But
he's hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Being hurt, stopping him from getting that opportunity. The Braves going to, of course, roll with Chris Sale to start off their game in their opening series against the Royals. Yeah, that Pirates-Mets game today should be a lot of fun. That Pirates squad, sneaky in the Central without question. 2-2 count here to Wiltz. That's right down the middle. Gets the punch out, so Wynn responds, gets out number 2. Still runners at first and second. So now we'll get the last batter in the order here for Lexington, and that'll be Bo Stutzman. Stutzman, first prep baseball event for the 6 foot, 160-pounder. Playing right field today. He's first pitch swinging, and that's driven down the left side. Third base camps underneath it. Does he have the play on it? He, in fact, does. Lexington has stranded 3 runners through 2 innings. We'll be back. You're watching the Spring Break Experience from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. You are watching the Spring Break Experience. We're going to see Brooks Campbell, Christian O'Rear, and Luke Fowler at the plate for Mars Hills. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. Jack mentioned this being opening day for Major League Baseball. Again, the game was played last night, so if you want to call yesterday opening day, I will not take offense to it. But it was technically a night game, so today opening DAY because it's light outside. But with Major League Baseball unfolding, there's some big questions out there. Of course, the Dodgers going for 3 straight. Mentioned Skubal going for 3 straight AL Cy Youngs. So what I want to do as we work our way through the bottom of the second inning here is throw out, and I'll give you each batter here to kind of walk your way through these major awards. I guess we'll see how long this inning goes for Mars Hill. But I'll give you the odds favorite for each award. You can either take them or you can take the field, and you can let that dictate who you believe is going to win. So we'll start off with AL Cy Young, AL MVP. Aaron Judge. Are we taking Aaron Judge for AL MVP, or are you taking the field?
I don't think Aaron Judge is going to win an MVP.
So you're taking the field.
Yeah, he started last night. He was 0 for 4 last night, or 0 for 5 last night with 4 Ks.
Well, good thing this isn't the NFL and it's not weighted where one game is 1/16th of the season.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you watched him in the World Baseball Classic, he didn't perform as well as he did last year or the year before that.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that. Brooks Campbell at the plate right now for Mars Hill, the 19th ranked right-handed pitcher in Alabama, 62nd overall in the class. Exit velos are on 84.3. He was a 2023 junior future gamer. He's got a 2-1 count here. Barber misses high, now 3-1. All right, National League MVP, Shohei Ohtani or the field?
I mean, it's Shohei. He'll probably win it.
Yeah.
For being honest.
It's going to be Juan Soto. That one's driven down the left side. Third base has it. Long throw. Hits off the first baseman's glove. So via air, Mars Hill's going to have a base runner here. So Brooks Campbell gets aboard, first baseman, unable to glove it. So bounces outside of Wiltz's glove, and they'll have a runner at first. So with Campbell aboard, we'll now see Christian O'Rear. O'Rear, second prep baseball event for this 2027. Barber misses high. All right, so we've done AL MVP, NL MVP, AL Cy Young, Tarek Skubal, or the field. Do you think Skubal's going to win 3 straight?
Tarek Skubal he's just nasty.
All right.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, Garrett Crochet could have a chance.
I think Max Fried is the guy to watch. I think
he's
slept on right now. I think a year ago Fried, he kind of acclimates himself to the American League.
Well, and he was adjusting to it. Yeah, he was.
That's what acclimate.
Yeah.
So he was getting himself used to being in the AL. He's now had a full year. He's found himself in pinstripes now for the second year, a little more acclimated to the surroundings of being in New York. You hear a lot of guys talk about that transition when you go to that. It's a tough place to play. You got to get used to. When he was here, frankly, I mean, I covered Max through his entire career in Atlanta from when he came over from the trade from the Padres. I mean, I remember being in being on phone calls, with Frank Wren, who was, and then the previous regime with John Capilano, and we go to now Alex Anthopoulos. That whole run of having Fried, watching Fried go, covering him his entire career. There's only maybe 5-6 of us interviewing the Braves players on a daily basis. Now he's going into this firestorm of New York media. It's a big transition. So I think Fried is certainly a guy to watch there in the AL Cy Young race. Paul Skeens is well and away the odds-on favorite to win the National League Cy Young. Does he go 2 for 2?
I mean, There's a huge chance. He averages a 1.96 ERA in his first 2 seasons. I think there's a pretty high chance he does. It just also depends on, injury and all that kind of stuff. If guys get hurt or if, there's a couple bad games. I personally believe... If not Skeens,
then who?
Yamamoto, probably.
Right. Yeah,
I think Yamamoto or like Cursail.
There you go.
Again, somehow.
That's good. Luke Fowler at the plate. He's got an 0-1 count, third prep baseball event for him. 2 outs here in the inning for Mars Hill. Barber gets a strike, makes it 0-2. Kevin McGonigal, number 2 prospect in baseball, gets called up for the Tigers, and he's currently the AL Rookie of the Year favorite. Barber misses. He thought he had strike 3, trying to walk off like he's Vince McMahon there with a little strut down the mound. Counts down 1-2. Does Kevin McGonigal win AL Rookie of the Year?
I think so. I mean, he was pretty well in the minors.
Another miss. Counts now 2-2. All right, NL Cy Young. Nolan McLean is the favorite. Is he going to win?
NL Rookie of the Year.
NL Rookie of the Year. What did I say?
Cy Young.
Okay. No, Nolan McLean's not going to win Cy Young. Does he win NL Rookie of the Year?
No, I think it'll either be one of the Pirates. It'll either be Bubba Chandler or
Connor Griffin.
So
Connor Griffin got it. I've interviewed Connor Griffin in the past. He's played here at LakePoint Sports. I think if he gets called up by May 1st, he wins. I think if it goes later than that, I don't think he's going to have enough time. I think time is going to be against Griffin trying to follow Skubal as Rookies of the Year. Count's not going to be full off that miss from Barber.
I mean, him and Max Clark could both potentially do well in the majors. They just have to get out of the minors. I think I think Max Clark is one of those guys where it's like, he wears the chains. He kind of has a little bit of swagger, and now a lot of people love that about him. But
I think personally, and I don't say this just because Max Clark has been tied to a lot here at LakePoint Sports, prep baseball. I think Max Clark is the so Bryce Harper. I cannot tell you when Bryce Harper came up, there was a lot of people who were older baseball fans that did not like Bryce Harper and what Bryce Harper stood for in terms of the way he played the game, the way he carried himself. I cannot tell you how many kids I have come through here when I ask them who's made the biggest impression on you as a developing player, and they say Bryce Harper. This generation of these kids on the field, we're going to hear that it is going to be Max Clark that's going to be the one that does that same thing for them. That one is driven well into left field, into the glove of one. Who do we have in left field? We've got Miller in left field, makes the inning-ending catch, and that'll bring an end to the inning. We got a lot more coming your way. You're watching Lexington and Mars Hill in the Spring Break Experience.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
And we are back to the top of the order here for Lexington as we move along to the third inning. That's Blaine Freedmansky, Caden Knight, and Braden Barber. Once again, got Carson Wynn on the mound for Mars Hill. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. First pitch swinging from Freedmansky goes back foul. Wynn, 37 pitches thus far. We've seen one hit in this game here in the third, and that was from Lexington. Also had a Lexington error in this one as well. That one down the left side gets past the third baseman. There is hit number 1 for Lexington. Or hit number 2, excuse me, for Lexington. So they'll have a runner aboard here in Freedmansky. He's now 1 for 2. So from Freedmansky to Caden Knight. Knight reached in his first AB. He's 1 for 1. It's top of the order here. Going to try to make something happen for Lexington. Again, they've scored 4 runs in 2 games. Miss in the secondary from Wynn. I feel like this is crucial time here, right, for Lexington. If they've got a base runner aboard, we've seen them now in each inning get guys on, but they have not been able to get anybody into past second base. So can they do it this time? We've seen them strand multiple runners in the second. They stranded 1 in the first. Now they already have the leadoff man aboard here in the third, and we've got a 2-0 count in the ninth. So talking award winners already here in the start of the Major League season. And runners taking off for second. Freedmansky is going to be in there with the steal. Lexington being aggressive early. So once again, a runner in scoring position. Can Knight come through? You got Braden Barber in the on-deck circle. Is there a surprise team to you in baseball? Is there someone looming that you think is going to be a surprise?
I mean, it might not be a surprise just because of the fact that they have such, so many guys.
Yeah.
I think the Pirates are going to make a run.
I think that's probably, I think if any division is primed for it, it's the Central, and there's a walk tonight. No, are they calling him back? He said 3-1, go pick up your weapon, sir, and continue this AB. Nothing more embarrassing, I think, than that walk when you got to make your way all the way back there when you thought you had yourself a walk. So the count's now 3-1. All right, Knight steps back in, counts 3-1.
But I mean, with the Pirates, they have such a young core, and we've seen it in years past where, they let those guys develop and then they trade them.
Yeah, Knight pops that one up. That's a long run for the right fielder. Runner takes off for second. Some serious speed from Freedmansky. He holds it third. Man, we do not have on the profile, we do not have a 60 time for Freedmansky, but he was absolutely flying from second off that tag up. Man, he was scooting. So they're going to have a runner now at third. 1 out, and we've been in this position before with a runner in scoring position for Braden Barber. Let's see if this time he gets an opportunity to bust through. This is going to be it for Wynn. We've had a couple visits here now, and that is, in fact, going to be the end of the day for Carson Wynn. So Carson Wynn goes 43 pitches, gave up 2 hits. Runner at third now off that long, loud out from Knight. So some lineup machinations here. We're going to have a new pitcher for Mars Hill. We'll tell you all about him when we come back from the Spring Break Experience.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. Still trying to get a read on the number for our new pitchers. All right, so the new pitcher for Mars Hill will, in fact, be Cole Aggie. Cole, a 5'7", 136-pound right-hander. We've got him with a fastball around 79 miles an hour. Changeup sets 71 to 74. Also has a curveball, 69 to 74, playing his 9th prep baseball event. So this 2028's got a situation where he's got one down, he's got a runner at third, and he's got the most dangerous bat in this Lexington lineup looming here in Southwest Illinois signee Braden Barber. Again, I have been thoroughly impressed with Lexington because you hate to let games that you watch a team kind of approach what your expectations are for them. But I think watching them lose 18-0 to Van Buren and looking at a score yesterday that saw them lose 14-4 to Deschler maybe kind of painted the picture that these guys might struggle a little bit here. But they have come out and been swinging. They've been aggressive. They've gotten some good pitching from Braden Barber on the mound, their guy, and they have been more than up to the task. They've just been waiting for that breakthrough. They had a runner on in the first, couldn't get it. They had 2 on in the second, couldn't get it. And here they are, runner at third, 1 down, and Barber, who hit a 2-run home run on Wednesday, stepping in here with an opportunity against Cole Aggie as he comes in relief of Wynn. First pitch, and Barber watches ball 1. Barber got those shades rocking here, bat wagging. Again, he's already gone deep once. Gets away from the catcher. Is a runner going to take off for home? He, in fact, does, and there it is. Small ball gets it done for Lexington. A wild pitch results in the first run of the game, and they've got the lead here in the top of the third. And I cannot say enough about the heads-up base running and the speed that Blaine Freedmansky has shown us. Tagging up on second, just showing wheels to get the third, and then taking advantage of the miscue behind the plate from Mars Hill.
I mean, when you're on third and you have the speed like that, you have to try to take advantage of it. Because, you know, if you don't take advantage of it, you're going to dwell on it.
Yeah, and what a weapon for Tanner Schreiber, the Minutemen coach, to just be like, let it cook, man. Just go. Just go. And you know he loves watching Freedmansky fly. You know he's got to just love that kind of a weapon that you can just let him burn up the base pass. And we've seen that. Now it's got them a 1-0 lead here in the third. This one is rocked, 98.2 off the bat. Barber, and that one is well on its way, all the way to the wall. Barber taking off for second, and he is going to hold there. Man, what an absolute missile. Barber coming through with a 1-out double, and Lexington in business here with a 1-0 lead here in the third. Man, that was a rocket off the bat of Braden Barber.
Shot.
You know, he was like, that RBI could have been mine.
Yeah.
That could have been my RBI. Just missed another trip around the bases. Could have had his second home run in 2 days. But Barber's holding a second. Pitcher will now get a courtesy runner. Taking over for him at second is Seth Williams. Williams, 2027, playing in his second prep baseball event. Already rocking the oven mitt. Now got to deal with Drake Powell at the plate. If you missed the interview I did with Garrett Reed from Deschler that we showed in our pregame, one of his random questions was whether you would rather play a game in oven mitts or clown shoes. He picks oven mitt, but he's a pitcher, so he said that day you'd probably have to be out in the field. But I say that because so many guys are used to being out there with, you're obviously playing with one hand covered up. It's literally you're just like covering up the second hand. If you're out in the base pass, more often these guys have the sliding mitts on. When on the field, obviously they're wearing a glove. It's just taking your dominant hand and putting something on it. But I kind of feel like I would pick clown shoes, because if you could pitch in clown shoes.
Yeah, but you can't run.
But you can throw. You can't hit. You couldn't hit with oven mitts on.
I mean, it would be uncomfortable because like the way guys get their feet so low to the ground when they do their stride, that they could trip.
Drake Powell ropes that, 78.7. Is it in play? It sure is.
Foul.
Goes foul.
Goes foul.
Well, I like how he was like, oh, wait, no, go back. We went through the emotions with Drake Powell because we thought it was foul. He started running. We got excited. He has to go back, and then we have to bring him back into neutral. Yeah. 2-2 count now to Powell. Got a runner at second. And the courtesy runner, Seth Williams. after that double from Braden Barber. 1-0 lead for Lexington, scoring off of a wild pitch. Saw Blaine Freedmansky scoot across home plate. 2-2 to Powell. There it is, the punch out. He thought it was a ball. He's got confused twice in that AB. Thought he had himself fair ball, then thought he had ball 3. But that's the punch out for Aggie, now 2 down.
I would almost rather have that than have, throw my bat, start walking to first.
Well, okay, I can see that.
I think I'd rather pick that.
All right, here comes Cooper Miller. We'll have to ask Drake Powell about that later on. Cooper Miller playing his first prep baseball event, steps in, runner at second, 2 down. He swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Aggie underneath it. Nope, his catcher, tough play, able to scoop it underneath. And, man, when that ball starts coming back like that was a really good job behind the plate. And then also the transition under to catch that one and bring it into the inning. But Lexington scores. They've got a 1-0 lead. We're on to the bottom of the third when we come back.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
We are back, and we have a 1-0 lead for Lexington. Braden Barber, who delivered a double in that last half an inning, back on the mound for the Minutemen. See where we're at in the order here for Mars Hill Panthers, and they will lead things off here with Cole Aggie, who's taken over as starting pitcher, followed by Carter Ham, the catcher, and then we're back to the top of the order with Noah Ham back. We've spent a lot of time talking about Lexington responding after giving up 32 runs in their first 2 games here and being outscored 32-4 in their first 2 outings of the spring break experience. But this is a team that came in. They came in 3-0. They had outscored. They came to LakePoint being 3-0. And that one's a hard hit ball. Going to shortstop, going to glove it. 85.4 off the bat. And that's out number 1 as Aggie grounds out. But they came in 3-0. They had outscored teams 28-7. So maybe just getting a little bit different kind of competition here in these first 2 games. But again, this is a team that made the state semifinals a year ago. There's some serious fight in these Minutemen.
I mean, the other thing is in Illinois and other states up north, they start their season so late.
That's true. They're seeing they're playing a team. They played a team from Arkansas and Van Buren that pretty much just worked every team they got in front of here at the spring break experience. But Arkansas obviously playing a little bit earlier than obviously they are up in Illinois. Yeah, Van Buren, by the way, they scored 20 runs in their 2 games here.
Yeah, 3 games. They scored 20 runs and allowed 14.
They scored 20
Who
runs.
did they lose to?
So Van Buren lost to
Mars Hill.
Yeah, they lost to Mars Hill.
Wow.
6-4. All right, count is 1-2 now to Carter Ham, the catcher. And gets away from the opposing catcher. This is Carter's 4th prep baseball event. Catcher and second baseman. Also gets on the mound, runs it up to 80. And he's got a 2-2 count. Ham, the last batter in the order for Mars Hill. Actually, we're back to the top of the order. This is Noah Ham back, so I think we actually had a discrepancy in how many guys Mars Hill was actually hitting. So we're to the top of the order here. I guess the punch out of Ham back, and then it'll be out number 2. So apologies there for having Ham at the plate when it was in fact Ham back, and that'll bring up now Bo Willis to right fielder. Bo Willis, like Cody Willis, bats left, throws right. Misses high. 47 pitches for Barber, as we sit here in the bottom of the 3rd. Willis golf swings that one, and that's a long drive all the way to the wall. Willis is going to have himself a double, so Bo Willis aboard with a 2-out double.
There's been a lot of doubles this game.
Sure has been. Yeah, Bo Willis doubled on Tuesday against Van Buren. So, loving his time at second base. So now Malin Moore. Moore sends the first one back foul. There's always that question, second time through the order, are they going to have a different read on the pitcher? Counts 0-1. Steals a bit of a strike there, now 0-2. Bo Willis at second, Malin Moore at the plate. 2 down here in the inning. Count is 0-2. Barber's already got himself a strikeout. Gets the runner at third. I think he
was out at.
I think they gave him both. I think they threw him out at third, and I think he got the punch out. But there was already 2 outs, so not really a throw him out, strike him out. They got 4 outs technically in that inning. All right, Lexington leads 1-0. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. Aggie back on the mound for Mars Hill. And we are looking at Miles Lannert at the plate for Lexington, to be followed by Jack Miller and Michael Wiltz. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0 lead for Lexington. So Aggie come in relief of Carson Wynn, and Lexington took advantage, scoring off of a wild pitch, and then we saw a double from Braden Barber. 2-2 count now. Aggie working very quickly. 3 hits for Lexington, 1 for Mars Hill. Lannert rips that 83.7 off his bat, and one's going foul. Count remains 2-2. Gorgeous day here in Emerson, Georgia, outside of the pollen, which is everywhere. Those fields are actually gray, by the way. No?
No.
All right, dribbler rate 94.2. Tough ball for the shortstop. Did he get him? He, in fact, did. Holds on. Nice job at first base, latching onto that one. Tough play by shortstop, but, man, able to hold on to that one. So some love there at short for Cole. Oh, that was Cole Aggie playing short, so I'm not see who transitioned to shortstop for Mars Hill. That was actually not updated on Game Changer. So one down will bring up Jack Miller, the catcher. Aggie misses high. Misses again. I want to be the kind of umpire where it's like you just like you're just like there's disdain for the moment, like you didn't do enough to get the ball in play. That one's 89.4. That one is in play, goes past the second baseman into center field. Now, did he catch that? He caught that. Wow, what a great play at second base. Man, got to give some love there to Malin Moore. Holds on to that one, 89.4. Seen a couple great plays from the middle infield of Mars Hill so far, but I want you can't even be bothered to say ball. You just sit there and you like slowly stand up. It's like you're just a parent that's just like, I can't believe you're not getting the job done. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be when I grow up as an umpire, but it's just like, it's got to be a lot of fun though.
Sometimes.
You get to watch, you get to be around these guys, you get to have some fun with them, to be part of their development.
It's all fun and games until
2-0.
There's a parent yelling at you.
Well, I mean, you could say that with anything, but I think...
we've had parents yell at us.
I definitely think hats off to these guys for getting back there, and it's certainly a little harder these days to find guys who want to be umpires, so I think hats off to them for getting back there and being part of this whole adventure with us, being a part of these guys' baseball journeys, so... Hats off to United Umpires and all they do for us here at LakePoint Sports. Love us some Todd and Wilson Marler and all that they do. Bringing some good guys here who really want to be here for the right reasons and want to log some really long hours here at LakePoint. That's obviously for sure. Hits him on the foot, so we'll have a runner aboard via the hit by pitch with 2 outs. So Michael Wiltz now at first, and here is Bo Stutzman, last batter in the order for Lexington with 2 down. Aggie gets the high strike. After Stutzman, it'll be Blaine Friedmansky's 3rd trip to the plate today. Ooh, swings through the nice secondary from Aggie. Makes it 0-2. Aggie steps off. Seen 3 combined strikeouts from Mars Hill pitching. Wynn had 2. Aggie's got 1. Barber's got 4 of his own, along with a double. Aggie fires it over. Not taking anything off that throw over to first base. It was like he was throwing home. 0-2 to Stutzman. Gets him biting on the secondary outside. Nice job by Aggie. Got himself 2 strikeouts, but Lexington still got that 1-0 lead when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney and Jack McCartney with you. Lexington with that 1-0 lead over Mars Hill as we set in the top of the fourth inning now. This is the final day of this week of the spring break experience at LakePoint, but plenty more coming next week. And we got some pretty strong squads coming down next week. Of course, we'll have Lincoln Way West, which has kind of been a fixture here these last few years. And they've really had some fantastic teams and players come through here. Connor Essenberg, now part of the Atlanta Braves system. Part of that Lincoln Way West squad. He's obviously now has moved on, but Michael Pettit, hope to see Michael down when they're down here on the mound. Michael, a former future gamer, Notre Dame signee, class of 2026. He's the third-ranked left-handed pitcher in the state of Illinois, so hoping we see him on the mound in this one. He's got a tough act to follow. 1 year ago that week, we had Jack Bauer go 102 for Lincoln Way East, their rival school. So I'm not trying to say Pettit's got to go triple digits for us. If you would like to, I would be more than willing and accepting of that experience. But, going to be a fun week ahead for us in that one. So along with Lincoln Way West, we've also got East Peoria coming down, so teams from Illinois. Marysville, Ohio, which is close to my hometown of Bell Fountain. Marysville, which is where the Honda North American headquarters is at. So, or if you're somebody who's into Scott's Lawn Care, feed your lawn, feed it. That's right there in Marysville as well. Middle Tennessee Christian coming down from Tennessee. Paintsville from Kentucky. Pikeville from Kentucky. Revere, which is in Richfield, Ohio, will be here as well. Springfield Holland from Holland, Ohio. Troy, Ohio will be down here as well, as along with Whitley County High School from Williamsburg, Kentucky. So a lot of teams from that Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky corridor going to be coming down here to play in next week's spring break experience. So certainly looking forward to that one and excited about some more high school baseball. And then, man, I don't know that you can get even more excited about what we've got for the Battle for Bartow. That one's going to be a lot of fun.
That should be a lot of fun.
We'll have a number of draft prospects in that game. And in those games, we have McEachern will be in action. Of course, we're going to have Etowah, the host. Stony Brook coming down from New York. I mean, there's legitimately, and Carrollton coming up with Caleb Hughes. So you've got legitimately 7 to 8 MLB draft prospects across this year and next that are going to be in action during that Battle for Bartow. So even if you just want to, you have no connection to those schools, and you want to watch who's next, you come down here April 9th and 10th for Battle for Bartow, and you're going to see who's next, whether it's going to be at the MLB level or guys are going to be names you're going to know within the college baseball ranks. That is going to be absolutely happening over that couple days here for Battle for Bartow. Walk to Willis here, start things off from Mars Hill. So a team trying to get some action on the base pass has it to start the fourth as Barber issues the leadoff walk. So I'll bring up Brooks Campbell. Campbell, the DH today. Campbell, right-handed pitcher, but told me pregame having a little discomfort, so not pitching right now, but he is the 19th ranked right-handed pitcher in Alabama, 62nd overall in the class, but also a guy, a 2023 junior feature gamer who can get it done at the plate. Exit velos in the mid-80s. And Campbell with an opportunity here for Mars Hill. Barber's at 59 pitches. He's got 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, has allowed 1 hit. Campbell watches ball 1. Everybody's allergies popping up right now with all this pollen in the air. 1-0 count. Swing, miss, goes to the elevated fastball, and Campbell cannot catch up with that one. I can't catch up with myself here trying to get through that sentence. Counts 1-1. After Campbell, it's Christian O'Rear, the left fielder. Barber taking his time. Wouldn't be surprised if Campbell steps out. He does. It's always either a miscommunication or you're just not feeling it in the moment. I always wonder what's going through a pitcher's mind when we have that step off. He goes quick pitch after the slowdown, so I think he's really just trying to mess with Campbell's timing. He knows he's got a tough bat here in the order. Carpenter B coming in here. There's not any wood in here, buddy.
Yeah, you don't want this.
2-1 count now to Campbell. Barber misses high. The throw back to first. Not in time. Count's now 3-1. It's the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 count here to Brooks Campbell. Barber's next pitch will be number 64. He misses. Campbell issued the walk, and now they'll have runners at first and second. So with Willis and Campbell aboard, now it's Christian O'Rear, and I think that may be the end of the day for Braden Barber on the mound. There's Tanner Schreiber out there. Got to give my sales pitch. They were talking about the Lexington squad, where they wanted to go shop for some baseball stuff after they got done here. And I told them, got to head down to Barrett Parkway in the new Dick's World of Sports, Dick's House of Sports. The brand new Dick's House of Sports was just opened up a couple months ago. Like baseball mecca. Not only do you have like all the equipment there, because they've got an insane amount of gloves, bats. They've got the indoor batting cage. They also have the whole trading card spot there.
Yep, sports cards collection.
Yeah, you can do breaks in there. They've got graded cards that you can purchase as well. So if you come down here and you're trying to think, man, I really want to go to a big-time baseball store around the LakePoint Sports, I don't think there's any better place to go right now than House of Sports, because it's just, it's not even like, it's not just about, and I say House of Sport, it's not just like for the kids to go there and get the equipment. I mean, the parents, they've got like all the gear, they've got the shoes, they've got, if you want Jordans, you want, Hoka, all that, they've got everything covered. So I'll take my check after the show's over with Dick House of Sports. But yeah, nice destination without question. Gets the bunt down. Barber's got no play, holds on to it, and bases will be loaded. And man, what a fantastic job by O'Rear off that bunt. And he's now 1 for 2, and that'll bring up Luke Fowler with nobody out and the bases loaded. Man, what a job by Mars Hill to put Braden Barber in a really tough spot, trailing 1-0, and they have gotten ultra aggressive here in the bottom of the fourth. Barber misses here to start things off against Fowler. Fowler, the 5'11", 2026, playing in his third prep baseball event. Opportunity knocking for him and Mars Hill. That one goes back foul. Barber up to 67 pitches. Swing, miss, makes it 1-2. Thought maybe we were going to see the end of the day for Barber after that visit by Tanner Schreiber, but just giving his guy a second to try to regroup. But what a great play by Mars Hill there with the bunt from Christian O'Rear to load the bases. And Barber really had no play at all by the time he got to that one. That one's driven down the right side, 82.1 off his bat. That's going to be caught by the right fielder. Runner tags up from third, and we've got ourselves a tie ball game. Still runners at the corners. And man, Mars Hill coming through big time. Christian O'Rear's bunt to load the bases, followed by a Luke Fowler sac fly, RBI, and we're all tied up. Just small ball getting it done for the Panthers.
I mean, when you have bases loaded like that, you have to try to find a way to drive in at least one of those runs. Obviously, he put it in one of the farthest spots you can, especially when there's a runner going from third home, and it's not an on-line throw going to the left field.
Yeah, throwing away from himself, too, especially on the run as well. It was a tough play. Carson Wynn puts it in play. That one's dribbling in left field. Another run scores for Mars Hill. They've got a 2-1 lead as Carson Wynn comes through with the RBI. Back-to-back run-scoring balls in play have Mars Hill up 2-1. The sac fly from Luke Fowler, and now an RBI single from Carson Wynn. Runner still at first and second. And that brings up Cole Aggie, who's taken over on the mound for the Panthers. So getting multiple looks at Braden Barber here for this Mars Hill lineup. And, of course, you always wonder how our lineup's going to adjust to a pitcher off multiple looks. And so far, they found their groove here in the bottom of the fourth. Runner's taken off for third. Throw is going to be way late. Trailing runner will advance as well.
Oh, are they going to call?
Second, third. They called him again for interference. They called him for, they're calling him for interference. Sending the runners back, and they just called Cole Aggie for interference. Yep, so Aggie leaning forward a little bit, I think he's saying. So I may have to do another screenshot for you here after this one to try to take you inside this. But second time in this game that we've seen a batter called out for interference in the catcher throw. Braden Barber's going to have himself a seat. And he's like, I've seen this story before. Now he's going to get back up. All right, so now 2 down. So Aggie out off the batter interference. And while we're back to the top of the order with Noah Hamback coming up for the 3rd time today. Hamback is 0 for 2. So 2 interference calls. Trying to find the actual moment on Aware TV. One skied back foul. Yep, so yeah, there you go. Take screenshot. You know how to do a screenshot? Shift Command 4. Then draw whatever you want. There we go. All right, we found the moment again, so we'll show you as soon as we can on our replay here. Cole Aggie getting called out for interference. Ooh, what just happened? Did he get hit by that? It almost looked as though he got a hit by pitch. It's almost that he turned into the breaking ball. So often you see a guy will glance away from the ball, but he actually... Hamback twisted in towards the catcher, and the curveball dropped in and hit him seemingly on the hand when he made that transition. So it looks like we're going to have the bases loaded again for Mars Hill. Thought I was on an iPad there for a second.
So I have bases loaded, 2 outs.
Swing and a miss there by Bo Willis. Willis is 1 for 1. He's already got himself an extra base hit in this one, a double. Try to build on that and break this game open. Mars Hill scoring 2 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Willis rips that one down the left side foul. All right, producer Maddie, when you can, we've got the next screenshot for us to show here. The
all right,
here.
I'll go grab that for you.
0-2 count here to Willis. Sends that one foul. So in between innings here, we'll show you Cole Aggie and what was called a second batter interference here this game. Pitcher going out here to have a moment with Braden Barber. The bases are loaded. Counts now 0-2 to Bo Willis. Mars Hill scored 2 runs here in this inning to take the lead. Getting 1 run off of a Luke Fowler sac fly, and then Carson Wynn with the RBI single. Bo Willis, an opportunity to break this game open, but he's got an 0-2 count with 2 down, bases juiced. Gets the punch out. Secondary gets it done for Braden Barber off that curveball, brings it into the inning. Maddie, we in position to cut to this moment here with Cole Aggie?
Yes, here we go.
So Cole Aggie called out for interference, runner taken off for third, and tried to duck down out of the pitch, but unfortunately stepping a little bit back towards the catcher. So you see second time today we saw it happen with Braden Barber. Now we've seen it with Cole Aggie. So each team having a batter called out by interference. So been a busy time here back behind the plate for our umpires, but making some tough calls in this one. Certainly stand by our umpires here, United Umpires getting the job done and always calling great games for us. We're going to take a break here in studio. We'll be back with more from the Spring Break Experience.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
We are back. Cory McCartney and Jack McCartney with you. Mars Hill has taken a 2-1 lead over Lexington in this, the last day of the first week of the spring break experience. Lexington took that 1-0 lead, scoring off of a pass ball, but then Mars Hill able to get the bases loaded off of a bunt from Christian O'Rear, and then Luke Fowler with the sac fly RBI into right field to give them tie the game up, and then Carson Wynn comes through with the RBI single into left field, has produced this 2-1 lead for Mars Hill. Mars Hill had the bases loaded, but left them juiced as we saw a strikeout from Bo Willis to end the inning. So a real opportunity they had to break this game open, but now we have Lexington. See if they can respond again. They have the top of the order here with Blaine Friedmansky, Caden Knight, and Braden Barber. And I've said it ad nauseum here, but have been so impressed with the way Lexington bounced back from a couple tough defeats in this event, putting up a serious fight here against Mars Hill. They had the lead going into the bottom of the fourth. Let's see if they can respond here in the fifth with their leadoff hitter at the plate. Friedmansky scoring the lone run for Lexington in this one off that wild pitch from Aggie. We, by the way, do have a new pitcher on the mound for Mars Hill, Cody Willis taking over. We've got Willis with a fastball around 73, also has a curveball at 64, playing in his 10th prep baseball event. And he's 70.6 on that offering. The 8th ranked first baseman in Alabama, 80th overall in the class of 2028. Swing and miss, and Willis gets himself a strikeout to start off the fifth. And Willis, certainly a name I think could be an option for Alabama when it comes to this summer's future games. So a name that we'll certainly keep our eyes on as the summer progresses. So Friedmansky goes down on strikes, and here is Caden Knight. Knight sends the first pitch, slams his bat down, and he knows that's trouble. Second base calls off first base, and that's out number 2. So now Braden Barber once again. Barber is 1 for 2. He's got himself a double. Willis goes with the off speed, and that'll be strike 1. Top of the 5th inning. Lexington trying to find a way to respond. Barber 100 miles an hour off of his bat, and that drops in front of the center fielder, nearly goes over top of his head. A couple hard hit balls from Braden Barber. Triple digit exit velo on that one, and he's got himself a 2-out single.
I mean, he absolutely
drilled that ball. Yep, and that right there tells you Braden Barber coming off is probably coming back out for the bottom of the 5th inning to continue pitching for Lexington. He's going to give himself a courtesy runner. Last time we saw Seth Williams replaced him. And didn't quite get the number. That is, again, Seth Williams coming in as a courtesy runner for the pitcher. So been awfully impressed by Braden Barber. 2 well-hit balls. It's now Drake Powell. Powell's 0 for 2. 4 hits so far for Lexington, 3 for Mars Hill. Lexington's committed 1 error. It's right down the middle for strike 1. So it counts now even. 2 outs here in the inning. Williams, a courtesy runner for Barber at first. Willis misses glove side. Powell puts this in play. Third base has it, gathers, throws into the glove of the first baseman. Lexington strands the runner. They trail 2-1. Mars Hill will be back up when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
2-1 lead for Mars Hill. Braden Barber, back out there for another inning of work for Lexington. He's gone the whole way thus far for the Minutemen. 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts for the Southwest Illinois signee. 3 pitchers thus far have taken the mound for Mars Hill. And we'll see Malin Moore to lead things off here, followed by Cody Willis and Brooks Campbell. That first pitch is driven foul. I think suffice to say, tight game. The thought for Lexington and Tanner Schreiber, their coach, is that Barber giving you the best chance to get out of here with a victory. He's thrown 79 pitches so far, make that 80. Moore is 0 for 0. He's got himself a walk. Count is 1-2. Barber goes to the curveball. I love him walking off like that. He seriously is telling you he thinks he's got himself a strikeout. All right, here comes Barber. It's well away from his catcher. Count's going to be full. Comes a 3-2 to Moore. Sends the pitch well high. First baseman camps underneath it. Makes the catch as he angles towards the outfield, and definitely make you hold your breath there when the guy looks like he might be off balance. But that's going to be out number 1, so Moore pops out. Here comes Cody Willis, who's taken over on the mound for Mars Hill.
I mean, it gets difficult sometimes when you have those pop outs that go high into the air. I mean, it's 1 p.m. right now, or about to be 2, so it's really sunny out.
Yep.
And 2,
that's great secondary.
you practice those all the time, but a lot of the time when you practice them, the sun isn't out, it's darker.
Yep.
Or also the environment's completely different. I mean, you're used to doing those stuff at your home turf or around there, and you're in a completely different state right now. You're in completely different kind of fields. I mean, not very many people have turf fields too. So I mean, there's 1,000 things that could go wrong, but.
Count is 1-2 here to Willis. 1 down.
Wow.
Gets the punch out. I love the way he just struts
off.
down off the mound. A little Conor McGregor, Vince McMahon-esque, little Trevor Bauer vibe to it. Getting it all from Braden Bauer, and he's got 2 down now in the inning. He's got Brooks Campbell at the plate. Real tough 4 or 5 hitters here in this Mars Hill lineup between Willis and Campbell. They're 2 lone ranked players in Prep Baseball's rankings. They're back-to-back at 4 and 5.
Look at Will doing some scouting work, it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not, but Wow. He's dotting it up. I mean, he's doing a great job with selection. He's doing a great job tunneling as well.
Yeah, it's certainly a guy who has confidence in his stuff without question. He's got a 1-1 count here, throwing with conviction, and that's going to be strike 2, 87.9. The velo is holding well for Barber as well.
I mean, coming into this event, Prep Baseball, it said he had an 84 mile per hour fastball.
He's ticked up.
He's ticked up to almost an 88 mile per hour.
Yeah,
and that's.
Again, the Southwest Illinois signing, he's got a 1-2 count here. He's already got number of strikeouts, 5 already, and that one's going to drop into center field. That's going to be a hit for Mars Hill. So it'll be their 4th hit of the game as Campbell reaches and bring up O'Rear. Yeah, 6 strikeouts for Barber so far, but he's walked 5, given up 4 hits. Christian O'Rear with that fantastic bunt. The throwdown is going to skip in front of the second baseman. Yeah, O'Rear ends up loading the bases there with that bunt in the 4th inning, and that really set the tone here because that allowed Luke Fowler to get the sacrifice RBI into right field that scored 1 run, and then of course Carson Wynn coming through with another one, which is how we got ourselves to a 2-1 lead for Mars Hill. And again, big moment for Christian O'Rear. He's currently 1 for 2. Pitch count for Barber is now 93 pitches. Feels like he just went from 60 pitches to 90 pitches in a hurry. All right, it'll be O'Rear at the plate. O'Rear at the plate and Barber on the mound as we continue here. 2 down in the inning. Runner at second. Willis with the hit and then following with the stolen base. Ball gets away from the catcher. Willis taking off for third. The throw is going to be...
Not in time. Wow.
Not in time. Nice job by Willis. Going well to the north side of the bag there, going away from the third baseman. So some heads-up base running by Willis, and he's now in scoring position.
I mean, we've seen a ton of well-rounded base runners during this game. I mean, even with
some heads-up base running for sure. 2-1 count now to O'Rear. Cannot catch up to that offering. Shakes his head. 82.2 from O'Rear. To O'Rear from Barber. Counts now 2-2. Got a runner at third in the form of Willis. 2 down in the inning. 2-1 lead for Mars Hill.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to that curveball right now.
It goes fastball, gets the punch out.
Punch out. Wow.
Barber makes his way off. Make that strikeout number 7 for Barber. But Mars Hill's got that 2-1 lead. We'll come back and on to the 6th inning from the spring break experience.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you as we are on to the 5th inning of this last game from the first week of the spring break experience. Been fun having these teams coming in from Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, Arkansas, Alabama. Of course, leading into another strong week of it next week. I mentioned real headliner for next week, Lincoln Way West coming in, a powerhouse squad in Illinois. This is their 3rd straight year here at the spring break experience. First pitch to Miller. That one's driven past second baseman. That's going to be a leadoff single. So Cooper Miller gets the leadoff single for Lexington, and now we'll see Miles Lannert and Jack Miller. Lexington did lead 1-0, but they're now trailing 2-1 after we saw 2 runs scored by Mars Hill on the bottom of the 4th inning. This is our 2nd inning with Cody Willis on the mound for Mars Hill. They've used 3 different pitchers so far. Wynn, Aggie, and now Willis. This here to Miles Lannert. Lannert's 0 for 1. 5 hits for Lexington, 4 for Mars Hill. Ooh, has to glance out of the way of that one. Counts 2-0. Whatever happens to Cooper Miller here, looming large is Lexington trying to will their way back into this one. That's right down the pipe for a strike. We talked early on about the missed opportunities for Lexington, stranding 3 base runners across the first 2 innings. They did get that 1 run in the 3rd. But they've had 5 hits thus far. That 5th one coming from Cooper Miller, who's standing at first. The 3-1. Lannert dribbles that one. Second base has it. Flips to short for 1 out. Do they get the double play? They, in fact, do. Mars Hill turns the double play. Some nice defense behind Cody Willis. And that'll be 2 down now as Jack Miller steps in. Some great glove work there. Nice job at second base getting things started. That was Malin Moore at second. Man, we also saw him catch a 94-mile-an-hour plus line drive. Shown some strong glove work at second. Miller, did he go?
Trying to figure out what that would be. Here, like, invert it.
Well, I think regardless now, it's either 0-2 or 1-1.
Yeah. I think it might be 1-1.
I think it's 1-1. I think it's 1-1.
I think he did it with the left hand.
He did. All right, now it should be 2-1. So Miller 2-1 does not chase that outside pitch. There you go. 2-1 count here to Miller. 2 down in the inning off the double play. Rips that one foul. And man, I think if you're Lexington, if they don't end up finding that breakthrough in this game, I think they're going to talk about this one being missed opportunities, and they're going to say, man, we had 3 guys on through the first 2 innings, couldn't break through. How big did that loom? Of course, you can go back to the interference call when they would have had an opportunity with Barber at the plate and Caden Knight at third, but Barber gets called for interference. There's now 2 down in the inning. That definitely changed that inning, but they had 2 on in the second and couldn't break through. So, and then obviously, hit into a double play here in this inning, and now you've got a 3-1 count to Miller.
Full count.
A full count.
Full count right
full
here.
count here to Miller. Another time when they could have had at least 1, if not 2, runners on. Oh, nearly hits him. Oh, Miller's going to make his way down to first, though, with the walk. So we'll see if we get a courtesy runner for the catcher, Jack Miller. We'll see if we get the signal here from Coach Tanner Schreiber. It's going to here comes a courtesy runner for Miller, so he'll start getting the catching equipment on. Oftentimes called the tools of ignorance.
I've never heard that before.
Old colleague Chip Carey used to call the catching equipment the tools of ignorance. But as I've said before, what does that make an umpire who doesn't even have a glove in his hand with a guy throwing sometimes triple digits? Is he more ignorant than the catcher who at least has the benefit of something to catch said ball with? All right, Micah Wiltz now at the plate after Miller reaches. Oh, ropes that one, and that's going to be into the glove of the center fielder. Hard hit ball, 82.1 off his bat, but just allowed out. Mars Hill continues to lead 2-1. We're on to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
We are back. Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. It looks like Braden Barber's day is over on the mound for the Lexington Minutemen, being now replaced by Drake Powell. We move on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Powell, 6'2", 160-pounder. This, of course, is his first prep baseball event. Powell started off this game playing shortstop for Lexington. So it looks like now they are moving Blaine Friedmansky to short. Not sure where they put Braden Barber, but we'll see if we maybe see him a bit later on. Friedman was playing in center field, so maybe Barber took his spot in the outfield. Maybe we'll see from one of these outfield cameras. Every once in a while we get the center fielder in that shot. But it'll be Powell on the mound, and he'll be facing off against Luke Fowler, Carson Wynn, and Cole Aggie for Mars Hill, which leads 2-1 as we move to the bottom of the 6th. What a dart there from behind the plate from Jack Miller.
I think they might have moved Barber to first.
Okay, yep, yeah, you're right. All right, so some machinations here for the Lexington Minutemen. Braden Barber is now playing first base. Drake Powell replaces him on the mound. Final line for Barber, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. More strikeouts for him than the 3 pitchers for Mars Hill combined. And the first pitch is put in play, 80.1 off the bat. Long throw from the shortstop. Did he make that play? Man, that was a fantastic effort Barber kind of had to pull himself off the bag to try to stop that one, at least from going any further. But, man, we almost had absolute magic at shortstop there from Blaine Friedmansky. And I've been really impressed with that kid. He can absolutely move, absolute baller at short. Nearly had himself a all-time kind of play. But that'll be a runner aboard to start things off here for Mars Hill. And now we'll get Carson Wynn, who a long, long time ago was the pitcher for Mars Hill in this one. So Fowler's aboard off that infield single. And Powell starts him off with strike one. Stick around after the game. We'll, of course, have our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that mattered and our player of the game breakdown. And you can, of course, always find our player of the game interviews on the LakePoint Sports social media channel. So make sure you check that out. If you're not already following us, make sure you obviously do so. Foul ball on the bunt attempt there from Carson Wynn. Wynn delivering the go-ahead run in this game. Maybe that ends up being our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters, because so far it is the moment that has mattered most in giving the Mars Hill Panthers this lead. Counts now 0-2 here to Win. Runner at first in the form of Fowler. Oh man, a rocket off the bat of Win. That thing had some giddy up, but it goes foul. Comes the 0-2 to Win. It's away from the catcher, but that's the punch out. So strikeout for Drake Powell. So go from Win to Aggie. Aggie was the second pitcher on the mound for Mars Hill. And he sends the first pitch into left field. And that is going to be down for a base hit. Runner taking off for third. The throw from left is going to be stopped by the third baseman. So the trailing Aggie reaches second. So runners at second and third now. Mars Hill already up 2-1.
I mean, Mars Hill's doing an amazing job right now of keep on moving the runners. I mean, they had a guy on first, and then that double there.
Keep the train rolling, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're trying to win ball games, that's all you need to do is just keep the train moving.
All right, back to the leadoff hitter, Noah Hamback. Runners at second and third, Cole Aggie with the double. Can't get that outside pitch. We have seen that called for a strike in this game a few times, so you can understand the pitcher's trying to nibble on the outside. Hamback skies that. Who's got it? Third base does in foul territory. What? I think are we calling infield fly on that one? I think Coach Josh Willingham wanting infield fly rule called on that. Infield fly, one of those rules sometimes so confusing that even the umpires maybe don't see it happening.
Well, if it's infield fly, he still caught it.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand what they're arguing right now, unless if he ran into him.
Yeah, it could be that.
And that to the other plethora of interferences today.
Yeah, been some oddities without question here in this one. Willingham making his case here. Currently 2 down. Yep, now 2 down. Runners at second and third. All right, our action will continue.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. Been an eventful game with a couple interference calls. Just had a bit of a catastrophe there at third base as well.
Yeah, I mean, from the looks of it, it looks like before our camera flipped that the third baseman went to go into that on the line to catch the ball and must have ran into the third base runner. And I believe that he ran into him, so they called interference there too. So you can, as I just said, add that to the plethora of other interference calls that have happened.
Rare that we have any interference calls in a game, let alone have 3 in one game. But that's been what's happened here thus far in this game. But we sit in the bottom of the 6th inning now, and top of the 7th now. If we flip from the 6th to the 7th, waiting for our scoreboard to do so as well. But this it's time if we're going to see the Lexington Minutemen mount a response here. This is their opportunity to do so. So see where we're at in the order for them. As we've got Cody Willis once again on the mound. I believe we're at the bottom of the order for Lexington. This should be Bo Stutzman, the right fielder. Should go Stutzman, Friedmansky, Knight. And in fact is Cody Willis back in the mound. He threw 27 pitches. He coming in relief in the top of the 6th. No, we're actually going to have a pinch hitter for Bo Stutzman, and this is going to be Lucas Martin, number 25. So Martin playing his first prep baseball bat, 5'6", 230 pounds. I want to give Lucas Martin the ball at the goal line. That's what I want to do.
Yeah?
Yeah, feed him at the goal line. Yeah. Well, that's your fullback right there. Yeah. Lucas Martin, just give him the ball and get out of the way. So this bowling ball ready to roll for Lexington. See if we can get him started here on the top of the 7th inning. Last batter in the order. They've got a combined 5 hits. They've not scored since the 3rd inning. That off of a pass ball that saw Blaine Friedman cross the plate. Friedmansky, cross the plate.
I mean, we're just going to have to see what they can do in the last minute, man.
That's right.
Yeah. You like that one?
Yeah, if they are. Go down to their final minutes here. And that's a walk. So Martin starts off with a leadoff walk. So Martin's aboard. And with the runner aboard, I think we may be having a pitching change for Mars Hill as Cody Willis issues the leadoff walk. Let's see if maybe this is just going to be a conversation or if we are, in fact, getting a new arm. And we, in fact, are. Willis making his way off. Another commercial break here in studio. We'll be back, tell you about the new pitcher for the Panthers.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. Waiting on our pitching change here for Mars Hill. Have a feeling that what we're seeing is the catcher went and got out of his gear and is probably coming back out there, which is probably why we're a little bit delayed in this one and getting our new arm out. Of course, you got to. That's a complete wardrobe change. All right, we do have a new pitcher and we probably have a new catcher as well for Mars Hill. But this being the top of the 7th inning, it's win now or go home for Lexington. And this is number 4 for Mars Hill as your new pitcher, so Brooks Campbell.
No, number 0. It looked like 4.
Yeah,
I thought it was 4.
Brooks Campbell told me he wasn't going to be pitching, so I thought we had something I was completely unaware of happening here. But not a number 0 on the roster listed for us, so we'll see if...
I believe that might be Carter Ham.
I think Carter Ham was wearing number 0.
I believe Carter Ham is number 0.
Yeah, it was listed as number 99 on our roster, so if in fact it was Ham... It is, in fact, Carter Ham. So Carter Ham goes from catcher, as we saw the catcher go off. So Ham going from catcher to pitcher here to finish things off for Mars Hill. Ham, the 2027 righty, got a fastball around 80 miles an hour, as well as a changeup 72 to 73, curveball 70 to 74. This is prep baseball event number 4 for Carter. And got a new face behind the plate as well for the Panthers. So the Mars Hill Panthers coming down over from Florence, Alabama. Again, they advanced to the 2A semifinals last year, losing to eventual state champion Victor. They played Van Buren on Tuesday, losing 6-4, and then turned around and beat Van Buren 9-6 on Wednesday. Coached, of course, as I mentioned earlier, by Josh Willingham, a product of Mars Hill and the 2012 Silver Slugger Award winner for the Minnesota Twins. So Ham inherits a runner at first. He's got Blaine Friedmansky, the leadoff hitter, now at the plate with nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Caden Knight in the on-deck circle. Ooh, nice secondary offering there from Ham, but it's a miss nonetheless. Ham goes back to the secondary, but it skips in front of the catcher. So we've already seen one walk here in this inning issued by Panthers pitching. Put Lucas Martin, the pinch hitter, on board. Make that a 3-0 count now here to Friedmansky. The next pitch will be the biggest strike zone that Ham will see all day long. And he gets that on 3-0, makes it 3-1.
Looked like the catcher kind of snowballed that.
A little bit, yeah. All right, his count is 3-1 here to Friedmansky. He chased his elevated pitch and frustrated with himself, 89.4. That one is driven well foul. Frustration, I'm sure, swinging at a pitch he knows he shouldn't have, and he should be aboard via a walk, but put a charge into that one, nearly 90 miles an hour off the bat.
I mean, he's just got to be lucky that, you know, he hit it as early as he did. Because if he hits that a little later, that might be a fly out the left field.
Well, now he's in fight mode. He calls for time. Did he get time? Because here's the thing we always hear, until that umpire
they
gives
might have
you
called
time.
balk. Huh?
Sending him back. So
Okay.
Because until the umpire gives you time,
You don't have time.
You don't have time, and we've heard that so many times over the years from umpires that, just because the player puts his hand up doesn't mean that he is being granted time. He needs to wait until he hears he has time. Full count now. He's got himself a walk. A pitch later than he would have if he hadn't laid off the elevated fastball. But now runners at first and second. We got a courtesy runner for Lucas Martin, by the way. Lexington now rolling with Brody Elmore at second. Elmore had the lone hit in the last game that they played today against Van Buren, that 18-0 loss. So now to be Caden Knight with nobody out and 2 on. And third time today that we've seen traffic on the base pass. Fourth inning that we've seen traffic on the base pass for Lexington. Multiple times they've failed to capitalize. Do they do that here, or do they find a way to break through? Time out on their side. Knight shows bunt, pulls back. Count will be 1-0. And, man, the dream scenario, if you're Lexington Minutemen right now, right, is somehow Knight gets aboard and you bring Braden Barber up, a guy who's already gone a double and 100-mile-an-hour single, and you bring him aboard with an opportunity to walk this thing off. Knight shows bunt again. He gets it down, but that one goes foul. Nice try there from Caden Knight.
That could have been a really clean bunt right there.
Sure
he
can,
just kind of angled a little bit more to the right. We've seen some pretty good bunts over the years.
If you're playing at a normal field with dirt, maybe that stays foul, but everything here is perfect, right? There's no variation at all in the turf. It can be
there's no holes or anything.
It can be a tough environment to try to get a bunt to lay down perfectly along the foul line. No, there's no ripples. There's nothing. It's just a perfect playing surface, which can be fantastic in a lot of ways, but it can be tough to get a bunt to go back to go and stay fair. Excuse me. Knight shows bunt again. Pulls back. Count will be 2-1. He's got maybe one more go at that. Can't imagine they're going to try it with 2 strikes. So we'll see if he's got one more. He's got one more in his pocket.
I mean, if you're the pitcher and you see that he keeps on, trying to bunt, you really have to try to throw that in the opposite side of the zone to make him try to go towards.
Yeah, you're going to try to go away from him.
Because either you nub it or.
But then you get yourself in a position where you may be walking and throw back to second. Elmore gets back in time.
Cole Aggie's doing a pretty good job of trying to make sure the runner stays.
Yeah, he's
humble.
keeping him in place. 2-1 count here to Caden Knight. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Knight does show bunt again, gets it down again, goes foul. He says that's on me. He's not trying it. I can't imagine he tries it again here. But
No.
you do have there are no outs. So maybe you can be a little bit more aggressive. But again, you got your big bat coming up. So the last thing you want to do is put yourself into a tough position where you potentially have yourself a double play turned if he doesn't get it down exactly right.
I wonder what keeps on happening because.
Yeah, we know there's no other games going on, so it's not as though we're getting.
Well, there is one more game going on.
There's a game going on at 10. So sometimes we do have balls from another field. All right, 2-2 here tonight. Holds off, gets the strikeout. Man, he's cannot believe that, but he's on his way back to the dugout and going to give it up to Ham. Carter Ham getting 1 out via the strikeout, and that's going to bring up Braden Barber with 1 out and 2 on. Barber's gone double. He's gone 100-mile-an-hour single.
I mean, with runners on first and second right now, you can't. It's not like you can have a runner go from steal first to second right now. You have to try to stay away from the double play as much as possible right now.
Barber goes 53.9 off that foul ball. So he fouls the first one straight back. Southwest Illinois signee got an 0-1 count, 2 on. Fouls another one back. Makes it 0-2. Does Braden Barber have any magic in that bat? He's got an 0-2 count. 1 out via the strikeout to Caden Knight. Carter Ham's allowed 2 base runners.
Catcher's positioning himself outside.
Puts it in play. Short has it. Flips to second for 1 out. Gets away from the second baseman. Bases are going to be loaded. Runner's taking off for home. The throw is not going to be in time as he holds on to the ball, and we've got a tie ball game. Braden Barber puts it in play, and just chaos reigns on the base pass, and some heads-up base running as we see Brody Elmore, who came in as a pinch runner, scores to tie this thing up. That was 98.3 miles an hour off his bat. So all 3 hard hits put in play by Braden Barber today. He goes double, he goes 100-mile-an-hour single, and 98.3 miles an hour. And what could have been a double play, but misplayed at second. We've got a tie ball game now with Drake Powell at the plate. An opportunity to play hero. And that's a strike. Now an 0-1 here to Powell. Strike in the outside corner makes it 1-1. All right. 0-2, excuse me.
I mean, if you're the pitcher, I mean, this umpire right now is really liking the outside.
Yeah, he's living
a little,
the outside.
a couple inches outside.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously that's too far away, but I mean, the batter's not going to want to try to push that. Because either he's going to swing at something he's not going to really love,
or it's going to be a weak ball hit down to the right side of the infield.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the 1-2 from Ham. Does a bite ball, gets away from the catcher. Runner advances to third. So now the winning run is in scoring position for Morris Hill off the pass ball. If you're Drake Powell, you're climbing up into your heart and flipping on that hero mode switch right now. Got a 2-2 count. Opportunity knocks for Powell. .2027 outfielder's got a 2-2 count. He's got a runner at third. He's got to put it in play.
It's a great job of trying to keep the
just fights
trying to keep the count alive.
Just kind of flicks the bat out there to push that one foul.
It's honestly, in a moment like this, though, you can't get too eager that you just strike yourself out.
Can't be outside your game.
Yeah.
Can't go outside your game. Ham does get him chasing, so a second strikeout for Carter Ham, and that one could be gigantic. All they needed him to do was put the ball in play. All right, now Cooper Miller's turn. First pitch to Miller's high. Two on. We've seen 2 strikeouts from Carter Ham. And one get stopped by the catcher, nearly had another pass ball, and that could have been all kinds of trouble with a runner at third. Count is 2-0. Make that 3-0. Blaine Friedmansky standing at third base. We know we've got some serious speed there. Should another ball get away from the catcher? Comes the 3-0 to Miller. Strike in the outside corner makes it 3-1. Just like the Rolling Stones, these pitchers have been painting the black all game long. Comes Ham with a 3-1. Miller sends it foul. Counts now full. Cooper Miller at the plate. Carter Ham on the mound. Comes a payoff pitch.
Looks like
nearly hits him. And that's ball 4, my friend. And that'll be bases loaded now for the Lexington Minutemen. I'll bring in Miles Lannert at the plate. Miles is 0 for 2. Bases are juiced. You know, Carter Ham's heart is beating a mile a minute right now. And that's been borderline, right? We've seen guys get that pitch. We've seen it go the other way. Doesn't go the pitcher's way on that offering. Lannert watches strike 1. Counts now even. Big deep breath from Lannert. Oh, Lannert holds off there, makes it 2-1. That was an enticing offering, I'm sure.
I mean, when you're in these high-pressure situations, you really have to,
I think you have
to take a step back and, really think about who you are and what you have to have in order to, be successful.
That miss makes it 3-1, and we're in a dire situation here now. Bases are loaded, nowhere to put Miles Lannert. This is walk-off walk territory here for the Lexington Minutemen. Lannert, you just got to stay within yourself. Lannert skies it. That one is on its way into center field. Center fielder has it, and that is going to leave the bases loaded for the Lexington Minutemen. They had their opportunity, could not come through, and we'll see if we march on. And, of course, we'll play the bottom of the 7th inning now with Mars Hill, an opportunity to try to walk this thing off as the home team. So we'll take a quick break here in studio and come back with potential conclusion of the spring break experience.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
We've got Bo Willis, Malin Moore, and Cody Willis coming to the mound here in the bottom of the 7th inning. What was I thinking? A walk-off walk? I was getting too excited. I was getting off my game in the moment. So I'm talking about the batter maybe swinging at a pitch that's outside of what they normally would do in a crucial moment. Here I am thinking in the top of the 7th inning that we're going to have a walk-off. This is walk-off territory, the bottom of the 7th inning. That's what's in front of the Mars Hill Panthers when they send Bo Willis, Malin Moore, and Cody Willis to the mound here. And they've still got to face off against Drake Powell, who came on in relief of Braden Moore in the 6th inning. So we've seen 2 runs on 5 hits for Lexington, 1 error committed by them, 2 hits on 6 hits, 2 runs on 6 hits for Mars Hill, 1 error committed by them. So Willis, who steps in, this is Bo Willis, is 1 for 2. Bo Willis also has a walk on his ledger today and a strikeout. A miss from Powell makes it 2-0, and man, I can't imagine what the feelings were for the Lexington Minutemen going into the dugout after that inning, leaving the bases loaded. And It just seemed like they had their chances, and they've had their chances multiple times in this game. It's just been unable to capitalize on the huge opportunities that have been in front of them. Still able to tie this thing up, though. But I think they have to look at this and say, man, we could be well out in front of this. But the flip side of that, Mars Hill had their chances, too, to break this open and didn't do it. But, man, we've got a tension-high situation here now as Powell offers the leadoff walk to Bo Willis, and that's going to bring up Malin Moore. Moore is 0 for 1.
I mean, also, if you're, Lexington, the stuff really hasn't been working this week. I mean, they've been outscored. They've given up 32 runs.
Yeah.
You really have to. You can't force it.
But again, I've said this at least 12 times in this broadcast. The way that they've responded after losing 18-0, I think, has been more than admirable. It's been awfully impressive. That one is skied. Shortstop should be the man to have that one. He, in fact, does. Runner will retreat to first. So one down off the Malin Moore pop out brings up Cody Willis. So Alabama's 8th-ranked first baseman in 2028, the 80th player overall in that class, steps in with one down. Getting doubled Tuesday, doubled Wednesday, including a 2-run double. Went 2 for 3 Wednesday against Van Buren. Got a chance to play hero here. Oh, man, 88.2 off of his bat. Cody Willis drives that one, and that is going to be backtrack and gone. My man's got a game-winning home run. Cody Willis living in the moment, man. That was a rocket off of his bat. And, man, you enjoy that trip around the bases. Cody Willis coming through, hero moment here for the Mars Hill Panthers. And you boys live it up.
Wow.
Man, that was absolutely awesome from Cody Willis. And a fantastic, well-played game. But, man, that was a moment in time there for Cody Willis, and he's never going to forget that.
No, that was. I mean, he hit that beautifully. I mean, it went right over. I mean, you just got to live that moment forever because, you're down. You give up the first run of the game, and then you end up getting 2 runs.
You know who's going to hear about that?
Who?
Cody Willis's kids are going to hear about that. You know who else is going to hear about that? Cody Willis's grandkids are going to hear about that. We're going to take a break here in studio. We're going to come back and we're going to wrap everything up from an exciting end to the spring break experience.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At the Rawlings store here in the LakePoint Sports Campus with LakePoint athlete Dom Rossi here to do some glove shopping. Dom, you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Don, primarily a catcher. We've got you here with the catcher's mitts. What do you specifically look for in a catcher's mitt that may be different than what you're looking for as a pitcher and a position player?
Well, catcher mitt's way different than any other position mitt, right? So I like a 33-inch. I don't really have a preference on what it looks like. Rawlings preferably, but I just like that it has a good pocket and that it'll make a good sound when I catch it.
Rawlings, of course, is the Gold Glove company. What's the best defensive play you've ever made in a game?
Probably blocked a curveball and the runner tried to steal second and just scooped it up and threw him out. Probably one of those athletic plays like that.
Now comes the best part. We're going to get you on Rawlings' website and you're going to get to customize either a Gamer XLE, a Rev 1X, Heart of the Hide, or Pro Preferred. The best part, Rawlings is going to send you that glove. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I already have a Heart of the Hide, so we could do Pro Preferred here. Go black web. I think most of this glove's going to be black, but could do a little pink here. The stamping, I like when it's indented. I think it looks a little bit cooler. Go 2-3, that's my travel number. And then for my logo, I just put the cherries. Any words I want on, I'll just put on Dom Rossi. And that's it.
All right, Dom, we've taken you glove shopping. You've gone on Rawlings' website, customized that glove. You feeling pretty good about the selection?
Yeah.
All right, we cannot wait to see that thing in action, man.
All right.
Dom, appreciate you going glove shopping.
Of course, thanks for having me.
What's up, guys? Jim Nagrowski here with LakePoint Sports, and today we're trying out the new Clout AI. Oh, first swing too? That's the best swing of the day by far. It's somewhat light and it's balanced. Light but medium. Like, it feels medium in the hands, but it swings super light. I actually really like this. Ooh, that was good. That was pieced. Even off the end too. It still seems nice because I caught that off the end. Oh. Man, I'm actually a fan of this. Oh. Barrel actually feels nice. Oh, that's a bomb. Oh, that's the best swing of the day. Dude, that felt money off the barrel too. That's a bomb. Dude, that's touched. What's up, guys? Just finished out here with the Clout AI. First thoughts here is it's a super balanced bat. I mean, for me as a guy that likes light swing weighting bats, I mean, it flows right out of the hand and swings super light. Pop, I mean, if you get it 100% there, it's gonna go a really long way. I mean, you can see in the video, I got a couple there that probably leave the yard. And I mean, really looking at this thing, I mean, you love the bright colors. I mean, it's definitely something. I mean, I really enjoy the colors here. And then it is effortless when you swing it off the bat. I mean, I don't have to try for anything. It just comes off my shoulder and the barrel goes to the baseball. And overall performance, I mean, this is the type of bat I would use in a game. I mean, light, big barrel, I mean, you name it, I want it on this bat, and especially the flashy colors. And I mean, that's my official review.
We're here at the Rawlings store at the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village with LakePoint athlete Austin Tiambora. Here to do some glove shopping. Austin, you ready?
Let's do it.
Austin, when you go hunting for a glove, what's that first thing that you go for? Is it the overall look? Is it the material? Is it the shape? Like, what's that first thing that you go to?
I think it's a little more of the shape-ish, the material, color, a little bit of mix of the both.
I don't want to date myself, but it used to be that gloves were either tan, brown, black. Now there's like every color under the sun. You can get any design you want. It's really become that personalized part of things for a player. Are you 100% on board with that drip part of it, or for you is it more about the subtleness?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I like the tan look. Tan look always looks good. I mean, you can never go wrong with a glove unless it's a bunch of different colors, like a couple of these, but...
All right, so we are in the outfield section here. You're an outfielder. If you're picking something off the rack, what are you drawn to?
Definitely like something like this, because I mean it's got a little bit of look to it, red, but it's pretty pretty stock glove that I like. I mean, you can't go wrong with it.
All right, Rawlings is the Gold Glove company. What's the best defensive play you've ever made in a game?
All right, so Final Four last year in high school, playing Rockmeyer, our home field, bottom of the 7th, ball gets hit to me and right. I go back, I slam straight into the wall, ball hits off the top of the wall, comes back in, pick it up, throw it to my shortstop, and throw them out at home for the win.
That's great stuff. I know every player remembers their first glove. What stands out to you about yours?
So I actually didn't realize it was a trainer's mitt until my dad told me at like 13. So I used it infield, outfield, wherever I played. So it was like a 10-inch glove. I mean, it was really small. So I'm glad he made me do it, though.
Well, I'm glad you upgraded. Now it's time to go upgrade again. We're going to get you on Rawlings' website. You can customize either a Rev 1X, Pro Preferred, Heart of the Height, or Gamer XLE. Have you customized every aspect of it? You ready?
Let's do it.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Jack McCartney with you. Man, you think TNT knows drama? We know drama here at LakePoint Sports. Man, that was absolutely epic. A 4-2 win for Mars Hill over Lexington in the final game of the first week of the spring break experience. Jack, man, I don't know how else do you? I mean, there's nothing else to say besides Cody Willis because he was the absolute man of the hour in this one. Game-winning 2-run home run to give Mars Hill a 4-2 win. And hats off again to Lexington. They came back after losing 18-0 to Van Buren to start this day, and both these teams provided us with some serious drama.
I mean, both teams did an amazing job of trying to keep the small ball, try to create runs however they can. It just ended up being Mars Hill. I mean, they kept on pushing. They scored the first runs of the game. Then they were down. They weren't down. It was tied, and then ended up scoring again, tied again. Then they just go off, in the last inning, and we're like, it's our ball game.
Yeah, Lexington had the bases loaded in the top of the 7th inning, could not break through, but man, it was just, again, this was the Cody Willis show, and this is a game that I think he's going to be telling people about for a long time. So without further ado, our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters. And where else do you go in this one? But that's the bat of Cody Willis. 39-degree launch angle off this shot, 88.2 off his bat. And that is the textbook definition of moonshot. In the 8th-ranked first baseman in Alabama in the class of 2028 comes through with an unforgettable moment. You know that trip back to Alabama. Those boys are going to be singing his praises the whole way there.
It was an amazing hit. I mean, 39 angle,
39-degree launch angle.
39-degree launch angle, just absolutely smoked it.
Yeah, big moment for Cody Willis. And again, I'm anticipating big things for him. A name that I've got circled. Maybe we end up seeing him at the end of the summer for the feature games, but certainly setting the standard there. So again, I feel like this is the Cody Willis show right now, and there's no other place to go for player of the game than Willis delivering that defining moment there with the walk-off victory, and there's nowhere else you could look in this one than player of the game than him. I thought Barber had a nice game for Lexington. I was really impressed with him. He had 3 hits of 95+ mile an hour. One of them, unfortunately, was an out, but he goes 100 miles an hour for a single, has a 95+ double. But Cody Willis was the man in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Barber, created the final run for Lexington as well. But, just Willis just, absolutely. There's no bigger moment than a walk-off in baseball. Everyone wants that, full count, 2 outs, 9th inning walk-off. But,
Cody Willis has got it.
He got it.
He got it. He's got himself a story to tell. This one belongs to Mars Hill, and that brings a close to this week's Spring Break Experience. But we'll have another round for you next week. You will not want to miss next Thursday's broadcast at 10 a.m. We're going to have Marysville, Ohio, out of my native Ohio, versus Illinois powerhouse Lincoln Way West. So if you can't make it out to the baseball village, you can find all those games live and on demand with LakePoint Live, powered by Aware TV and Pixelot. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't push this weekend's Prep Baseball Invitational. We'll have a 10 a.m. broadcast from that one. USA Scout against 9th inning Blue Jays. That, like all of our broadcasts, available on Facebook, X, and YouTube. And of course, make sure you head on over to our social media channels to find my interview with our player of the game from this one, Cody Willis. Until next time, for Jack McCartney and producer Maddie Bullock, I'm Cory McCartney, and for now, we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.